if you as a man can lift up your hand and ask me to penetrate your wallet, then you are just like the man that lifts up his foot and asks another man to penetrate his ass. You aren't just any man, you are a bati man.
Hello. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be talking about what do you do when a man asks you for money, okay? Sis, don't let him borrow no money. Don't loan him no money. Don't hand him no money. Don't gift him no money. Do not give him no money. Like, honestly, this is why a lot of people fall victim to the homosexuals, because you let them trick you into giving them money and you don't even realize it. You might be thinking to yourself, like, who has a problem with giving a man money? Like, how do you even get into that? Believe me, there are some women out there who are literally getting their checks directly deposited into their man's account and turning around and asking their man for some money for the week. Like, you never know who's going through what, and everybody has different situations and different experiences. But if you see some of the signs in the beginning, you can definitely avoid some of these things. So stay tuned and watch for more tips.
There's one huge red flag when it comes to dating that I don't think enough people talk about. And that to me is men who come to you and they're already in need of your resources. You just met this man and all of a sudden he's telling you about how his roommates are doing this and that, and he might need a place to stay real soon, and he may have to stay with you. I just met you, sir. A man who already is looking at your pockets might need money, might need to borrow money, and you've only been dating him for a short amount of time, might need to borrow your car for a little bit because his is acting up or in the shop. A man who just met you and already has his eyes on something that you have might be using you. Some men aren't looking for love, they're looking for help, and they're also looking to get access to your resources. If you ever want to know if a man's intentions towards you are pure, test him. When in doubt, try him out, okay? Tell him no. If you feel like he's using you for your body, tell him, you don't feel comfortable having sex right now, so you're going to have to cut it off. And see if the romantic relationship is still being pursued. Tell him you can't let him borrow your car anymore, that you can't let him borrow any money anymore, that he can't stay with you. When you tell a man no, then you get to see what he's really made of. Because if he's truly interested in you, wanting to get to know you, wanting to be with you, that shouldn't be a deal breaker.
What kind of women do men like to ask to borrow money from? The woman that he doesn't like.
If a man asks to borrow money and you just started dating, he hates you. Now I know some of the faceless usernames are gonna get triggered and comment and be like, oh, well, you should lend him your money if you really like him. It's not about whether you're willing to do it or not. It's about the fact that he asked you in the first place. Masculine men who want to impress you would rather risk being homeless than ever have to ask a woman they're dating to borrow money, because men value respect and admiration above anything else, and he knows that the second he asks you for something like that, you will never see him the same way again, whether that's true or not. So if he's asking, either he doesn't see a future with you, which is why he doesn't care how you view him in the first place, or he doesn't have masculine awareness.
And this is unfortunately why a lot of successful women don't like to share their accomplishments with education and their career with men, because sometimes they see that and, like, oh, there's more where that came from, right? Like, especially if you're like mid 20s and up and you don't have any kids, they really feel like, oh, you don't have any kids, no responsibilities. Like, you could definitely afford for us to take a trip, right? And me just tag along. Like, I could just live with you and be like, fine, like they really think that way. So when men ask you for money, just know whoever they really, really like, that they really trying to impress, they would never ask her for money. They would never ask her for money. If they asking you for money, they kind of view you as like the fat chick at the bottom of the pyramid. Like, regardless of how fine you are, that's how they see you. Like, that should make you upset. It actually bothers me.
Yeah, that was your last straw. I ain't gonna cap. You are cut the fuck off.
What to do if your man asks you for money? Girl, laugh or gets offended when I ask him for money despite earning myself. First of all, I tell him, don't ever ask me for money. Ever. The answer is always going to be no. Unless you're asking me for cash and you're giving me your credit card in exchange for cash, like, then no. I'm not. You ain't never get no money from me, period. Straight up, you need to tell him from the beginning. And what else did you ask? If he gets mad when you ask him for money, then get mad if he asks you for anything. Get mad if he asks you for a piece of gum. Get mad if he asks you to pass the remote. Get mad when he asks you for anything. And don't ask me for no money. That's the quickest way to get ghosted, to get left in the dust where you belong, to be laughed at, to be thinking you have a sense of humor when you're probably being serious. That's the quickest way you're going to get somebody to laugh at you.
In the very beginning, even if they're broke, they're going to present themselves to have more than what they actually have. They're going to try to impress you with dates, flowers. Hey, you need help with the bill? Let me pay your car note. In the very beginning, they're going to pretend to be financially stable. And some of them could have the best jobs. I know narcissists that make money and they are terrible with managing their money. They always have a gambling addiction, or they're blowing money on all their side chicks, but they're terrible at money. But in the very beginning, they're gonna make like they got money. They can take you on dates and buy gifts and all that. All that is to trick you into thinking that they're gonna have your back financially in the long run. It's a trick. If they fool you into believing that they have money, what's gonna happen during the devaluation stage is you're gonna learn that they're gonna stop giving. They're gonna stop doing and giving. All that good attention, all the gifts, all that's going to stop. And you're going to be like, well, okay, since he did all those things for me, I guess I can help him in return, since we're building a future together and we're going to get married. So if he borrows money from me, that's going to be my husband. I don't mind giving him money. It's a trick, y'all. It's a trick to get you to give your money. And guess what? The moment you give your money, he's going to keep on asking and keep on demanding and keep on taking and keep on draining. But you're not going to see him give back to you. And if he does decide to give, it's going to be this small. It's not going to be what he gave in the beginning. So he drastically starts breadcrumbing you and training you to give more of your money while he gives less. And he's reducing you and breaking your self-esteem down to nothing. So you're clinging onto the relationship. You're trying to save the relationship. You're like, well, if I keep giving and keep doing, it'll save this relationship. And all that's happening is that you're being manipulated into giving up your money and devaluing yourself, losing your dignity and self-respect. While he takes your money, he blows it on gambling. He blows it on the side chicks, or he might have a boyfriend on the down low. Yes. So your money is going everywhere. You're going to end up paying the bills. He's tricked you into paying the bills. He's tricked you into giving up your money and being his sugar mama. And that's not what relationships are all about.
Spend your man's money, someone else will, whether it's his family or his girlfriend, or someone will. So you need to put him in a situation where you have more desires and he needs to be providing them. That's all I'm going to say.
Let's go back to the first lady, spiritual whistleblower. She is absolutely correct. Like, people in general do that, not even just men. But for example, when he comes over, he's bringing you dinner, or what do you want to eat before he gets there? Okay, he's going to bring you food. Then next time you go to his place, maybe you bring him food, right? And then you keep going to his place, you bring him food, you bring him food. Next thing you know, he's asking you what's for dinner at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, because it's your responsibility. That's just one of the examples. Obviously, this is something that actually happens, because this is how people get into the homosexual state to begin with. On that video, I seen somebody comment and they were saying they had a homosexual, and the way that they got rid of them was the 3 C's: no cooking, no cable, and no cookie. Okay, so if she stopped doing those 3 things to get rid of him, that means y'all should stop doing those 3 things from the beginning. Never start them to avoid the homosexuality and the men that are scammers.
Remember when you let that shit slide? Yeah, you thought we forgot.
I stopped dating around the time when I found out that there are women out here who are giving their boyfriends their work checks, and their boyfriends are giving them money out of that check for them to go and spend. I don't compete nowhere where I can't compare. The playing fields are not leveled at this point. Y'all got it. Y'all the elitist employees. You can have all of them, and you deserve them.
As soon as I swiped my card at dinner to pay for it, my boyfriend showed me his savings account. He thought it was an appropriate time to show me his savings account.
It's a very slippery slope because it's like feeding a hungry cat. They're going to keep coming back for more. And next thing you know, you go from him paying for it to him reimbursing you time and time again to the reimbursement stop and he wants more and you're still paying. Next thing you know, you're paying for dinner like her and he's saving money while dating you. Why is he saving money while dating you? It is a very slippery slope. This is how women end up with that 50-50 relationship. Those women do not start off wanting 50-50 from their man when they live together. They're trained into that. They're groomed into that. They are breadcrumbed into that through positive and negative reinforcement.
Honestly, social media is pushing that narrative real hard with the marry me chicken recipe and the buy him a PS5. Like, we are not supposed to be doing any of those things.
So we both pay bills, but he pays for all of them because my check direct deposits into his account. So he can like have all the money in one place and we can save and stuff. And he like has investments that he invests our money into. He gives me an allowance of $100 a week. Like if I need more, I can ask for more, but normally it's just like $100 a week for like food and like random stuff I want to buy. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We both pay for stuff, but he handles all the money as the man should.
I don't want to be the one to say it, but I got to. But a woman should not be taking care of a man financially. I can't even wrap my head around that shit. I will fucking go broke before I ask a woman for some bread, bro. I do not give a fuck, bro. I would feel embarrassed. And you should feel embarrassed because as a man in this society, you telling me you're dependent on women financially in this society? There's no way.
As you can hear from another man, it is very embarrassing. They should not want to ask you for money, but they still do. You see how far it'll get? Like the girl that says she deposits her money into his account, immediately she started to explain to try to justify why. She was like, well, it's to help us save money. Well, he's investing. I'm pretty sure she has no idea what he has invested in. That's just probably something he told her. But thank you for watching this video. If you've come to the end, like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video.